Okay. Oh, where's my water? Oh no, did I put that on? Oh, it's on public. Okay, we're here. We're good. We're back. Still been trying to find a good name to call people. I have no idea. Yeah. The only thing I've come up with is Rookities, and that's it. And I hate that. So, how you doing, Fred? Let me make sure that OBS is tracking Discord. Is that working? Should be working, I hope. Elvin here, hello, hello. Back in, everybody. Lock that. Create a new layer. There we go. Ooh, this is gonna be weird and fun today, I hope. This will be the first time back with my eyeballs semi-functional, so we'll see how this works. Start with a good little rugby sketch here. Welcome in, everyone. It is Wednesday, September 20th. We are doing the viewer suggestion today. Draw a really distorted rugby here, because why not? Took last week off to have some surgeries and heal up. It's been a week now. I'm feeling pretty good.
You haven't gone insane from having not drawn anything?
Oh, I've been drawing all week.
Oh, good.
I still kept up on my sketchbook and started a new sketchbook. Just to keep myself busy. Worked a little bit on one of my commissions yesterday. So hopefully we'll finish that up today. But it's definitely weird. We're still healing. Probably will be for the next few months, but things are getting better. So hopefully we'll keep that trend. I'm gonna draw a really fluffy rugby today. The biggest issue I'm having is because my right eye is really blurry. Basically, if there's any glare in my left eye, I just can't see shit. So, name options. Since you are Rook, maybe we are your bishops. I assume you meant Rook, but that was a typo. The bishops. Yeah, I don't know if that's something that we should call people.
Especially given the pseudo cultish nature of how this channel started.
Yeah, we don't need any more people thinking we're a cult.
That joke is probably over most people's heads at this point.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's around from the old days.
Just me and Corvus, I think.
Yeah, probably. Still have an air bubble in my eyeball. So, like, my vision looks like this right now. Just can't see anything on that part of the screen. Oh, that means family. Welcome back, Western Justice. Moniker, hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Man, I was watching Philip DeFranco last night, and they were talking about this guy who's basically been defrauding podcasters. And these podcasters are like upset, which is rightfully so. I'm not defending anybody here. Rightfully so upset because this guy was giving them like defrauded them out of like hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad revenue, and I'm like, I make like 30 cents a video. What am I doing wrong? Like, what the hell? How do I get massive podcaster stuff? We got to give up on the art, Druid, and just become podcasters.
Maybe.
We'll just talk about inappropriate things that happen on the internet and I don't know, pen styluses. That could work.
That could work. And otters. We'll have to talk about otters every once in a while.
It's always funny when those stories go off because they're like, this guy did blah, blah, blah. It's like, I have no idea who that is. And then Philip DeFranco always follows it with one of the largest streamers on the platform. It's just like, oops. Well.
I always end up just being like, yeah, I don't care about that platform, so fuck me, I guess.
We should just change the name to the Out of Touch podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And then no large name brand people are allowed to ever be on the show.
No, absolutely not.
Which means like Mercer's out, but that sucks, but it's all right.
Yeah, we would have needed to get him 7 years ago.
Yep.
And our primary audience will be boomers and old millennials.
Yep. Are you over the age of 25? Welcome.
Do your bones hurt just because they're your bones?
I went to the doctor yesterday. And he shrugged at me. I was like, so what do I do about any of this? And he's just like, seems fine. Okay, SDM, hello, welcome in. No special rugby, no Mike this today. Who are you people? Wait, what? Today, this is a special rugby, and this is a special rugby because today is the first day that my pupils are the same for the first time in a week. So.
And I'm working on plant monsters. I'm just doing a skinny one instead of a thick boy.
Goblin, welcome in. Okay, SDM, I saw you were you're trying to get people to sign up for follow the Kickstarter. Feel free to post a link to that if you'd like today. Otherwise, just everyone feel free to check out OKSDM's channel. Playing some sweet tabletop RPGs. Making some fun stuff over there. Yeah, there you go. That'll work. My bones haven't been mine since the 80s. Fair enough. I had an x-ray done yesterday, and the doctor was literally like, unless I see something weird, I'm not going to call you. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So pretty routine old man stuff. I also had a nurse look at me in the face and tell me, you're too young to have eye surgery. And I was like, thanks for that. Because still, I agree.
And yet here we are. Way to practice good bedside manner.
Yeah. yesterday was a comedy of errors. And then I went to the wrong pharmacy because my pharmacy's all screwed up. So that was fun. They're like, what's the name? I'm like, I think I know my name. They're like, did you spell it right? I'm like, yes, I spelled my name right. I'm like, you get the birthday right. And I was like, yep. And I had to check out of my phone. And I'm like, I'm at the wrong place. They're like, oh, okay, bye. I was like, well, cool.
I'm a little bit concerned for the type of people that must visit that pharmacy, that was not their first assumption, and that their first assumption was that you did not know how to spell your own damn name.
Yep. All right, I'm pretty happy with this rugby. I think I'm pretty well warmed up. I am honestly kind of sad that I haven't gotten that video out in a while. Which it makes sense. Like, I've been pretty laid up, but I think I'm gonna try to push really hard in the next few days, get a video going, because I want to get some videos out. I have lots of ideas and just no time. Just no time. Same though. Yesterday I had a pharmacy mix up. Yeah, it's weird. Pharmacies are tough. I feel bad for them because I went there like, I want to say 40 minutes before closing. I was like, oh, I feel bad because I'm kind of towards the end of the day. And then I got stuck there for like 20 minutes. And so now it's like 10, 15 minutes before they close. And like 1,000 people showed up. And I was just like, like, I don't feel so bad now, but still, ooh, you guys, I'm sorry. So it must be rough working at a pharmacy. I've had that exact same thing happen at OKSDM. The Walgreens here is just hot garbage. And the funniest part is like I had so many problems with them where they would call me and be like, your prescription's ready. And I go there like, oh, we can't fill this. It's like, then why did you call me? Like, you need to talk to your doctor. I'm like, okay. I've had so many problems with them that I went somewhere else. And then, so I went to it's like a Bartell's or something. I get there and I'm picking up my prescription. And I said, can you make sure it's filled for the right amount? Because the doctor has it filled for 90 days and the Walgreens keeps filling it for 30 days because I don't know, but they're terrible about this. And that's why I switched. And the guy at the Bartell counter says, oh, well, just to let you know, we're closing next week. And we're going to send all of our pharmacy prescriptions over to that Walgreens. And I was like, well, son of a bitch. So I have to find another pharmacy again. But man, it's been a weird time. Weird time. I'm in the middle ground of being both too old for things and too young for others. Yeah. Same. All right, I'm ready. I think I'm warmed up. I'm good to go. I completely forgot to put up the list. Hold on a second. I gotta grab this. There's one today that I hope gets rolled because I want to read it verbatim. And it is the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever read.
Not sure if I'm excited for that or scared.
I mean, I don't want to trash on people for their suggestions, but you're getting a little razzed if yours gets picked. How do I do this? I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible, and I'm probably going to make me take longer. Not text rotation. We're going to do it alphabetically today. Maybe. Sort range. Alphabetically. Yep. Do it. Delete. Rows, please. I did it alphabetically, and the first 10 are something, which is kind of funny. That one says welcome back.
I can see that happening.
This one says welcome back. Glad you had your surgery went well. So I think that's probably not a suggestion. Okay. Here we go. I'm rolling some dice. I rolled a 10. A shallow-faced, rather severe-looking gentleman, human robe, long black coat, a tie, and a dark. Oh, comma. Satin-faced top hat. There's no class. Oh, human robe. It's right there. Okay, I got it. It sounds like Jack the Ripper. Sounds like Jack the Ripper. What's with the new setup? What's the new setup? We have a
different background, maybe.
Maybe could be. The otters are the otter stickers are now available on the website. If you want to get those, just go to rookzer0.com. Buy some stickers. The Patreon members already got those, so if you would like to snag some of those before they're gone, you got to do that from the website or from Redbubble. We're also doing the super chat frog timber, so if anybody tips any money in the super chat, preferably lots of cashums, I'll draw a frog. I'll draw you a frog. Yep. So that's how that works. I should probably just do super chat, suggest me something to draw, and have like a $10 limit on it, so people just like let people jump the line. But then I'm afraid people think that's the only way to suggest stuff, and I don't want to do that. What is this, a speed paint? I mean, kind of. Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Oliver, welcome in.
Isn't a speed paint what I always do?
I mean, yeah, technically, except you take forever. I think when you're going with speed paint, it's focusing on concept over detail. I think that's really the only difference. Like it's essentially, you never get down to fine detail.
Well, I still usually get at least one thing out in under an hour, so
yeah. And I think a speed paint shouldn't, like, you can put time limits on them, but usually they're 10, 20, or 30 minutes.
Mm.
But yeah, I think everything we do here is technically a speed paint because we're not doing like a full commission piece. What was I doing? Oh yeah, top hat.
Well, you never do a full commission piece.
That's fair. That's fair.
I have been known to accidentally do that before. I do think I really struggled with my warm-up, so I think I'm going to wrap this one up relatively quickly.
Take your time. Do whatever makes you comfortable.
I expected to be able to get more out of swamp monsters, but I've really kind of fallen into a pattern and a rut, which is not what I want for my warm-ups.
Keep drawing the same.
I'm probably gonna swap to something else again. Maybe I'll move away from plant monsters. So I think I draw a lot of the same pose.
I just like this like curvy S pose.
Mm-hmm.
And I always worry, I'm like, oh man, I draw the same thing all the time in my sketchbooks. And then when I go back and look at my sketchbooks, they're all different. They're all wildly different. Like, so it's all general same shape, but like I do draw something different every time. It's like, okay. Could try sea monsters in blue? What do you mean by that?
I could do sea monsters in blue instead.
Oh, instead of green.
Yeah, like Yeah, because I'm always doing some sort of plant monster in green. The Myconids were fun because I could do because mushrooms are wild and crazy, and I could do all sorts of fun shapes, sizes, colors, textures.
Yeah.
I suppose I could do that with the swamp monsters as well. I just fell into a rut. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try playing with it a little bit more later.
I tend to
Maybe I'll
find
switch
that
to
like
something else.
when I feel like I'm stuck in a rut of drawing the same thing, it's because I'm not doing what I want with it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's something that I can change about it that I haven't quite gotten yet. So I'm okay with drawing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Best sea monster story from a tabletop RPG.
These are just warm-ups though, so I don't really need to stress about it at all.
I don't know if I have a sea monster story.
My players are generally terrified of me as a DM, which is maybe not something that I should be proud of, but they usually avoid water.
We did kind of one of my first big campaigns was kind of a nautical themed pirate campaign type, and we fought a couple krakens like over the course of that, and that was really fun seeing them like the DM basically let it scale. So the first time we were just fighting like one or two tentacles, and it's like, oh, that's fine. But then by the end, we were fighting just giant sea creatures. Yeah, so it wasn't too terribly creature heavy, but like theming like a blue dragon as a sea creature was really fun.
I've always wanted to do a
volcano,
an aquatic purple worm.
Did I say Krakatoa? I meant Kraken. If I said Krakatoa. Damn it. You saying that made we just beat Baldur's Gate 3 for the first time, and towards the end of the game I got a vial of purple worm poison and I forgot to use it. Like, oh,
oops. Yep. I'm ready to start on a prompt. What am I rolling?
D23.
Okay.
Baka, hello.
12.
Cowboy themed Haragon fighter with dual hand crossbows. Duster and a hole and a half for ears. Did you finish up your Vieira Dragoon?
No. I made decent progress with the background, and I'm really happy with that. I probably won't do any more today, just because like I'm doing a lot more drawing than I'm used to this week already, and so I'm a little bit exhausted, and I don't want to like completely fatigue myself. So I probably won't do any more on it today, but I think I'll probably pick it up again tomorrow.
Nice.
Maybe do some more drawing in the Discord.
That's good. It was nice seeing people hanging out in the Discord without me there.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'm glad that happened.
I'd meant to do that last week when I knew for sure you were going to be out, but I'm a little bit anemic as well as a result from my previous gut problems, so I just didn't have the energy for it.
That's fair too. An ad just scared the shit out of you? Yeah, YouTube just switched this thing, so we'll have to see how it goes. So they're running... they switched up the ad placements and stuff. And it's supposed to be more tailored to be balanced, but we'll find out. If you don't want ads, consider becoming a member. I don't think they get ads. They might. I joined the YouTube premium thing a while back, and I was watching YouTube on someone else's account, and an ad popped up. I'm like, the shit is this? What is happening? I was like, oh right, you can turn it off and let YouTube autoplace ads for you. Yeah, that's. I think today they were like, oh, let YouTube autoplace your ads, and I was like, okay, fine, that's whatever. But I don't know if that's going to be more ads than normal or if I should just turn it off. Seems inconvenient slightly. Yeah, I mean, it is probably a little inconvenient. For the most part, I've been just having the ads turned off, but yeah, money. So we'll find out. If it keeps putting ads on, like just mid-rolling them all the time, then we'll probably just turn it back off. Consider sponsoring a TV show. I would like to set up a sponsorship program so people can just fund a whole live stream or something. That would be pretty fun. I'd want to do something for it though, like let people do shout outs, or what was the McElroys? The money zone. You'd go to the money zone.
Oh yeah. They haven't done that in years, have they?
I mean, that was when they were doing their podcast. So I don't know if they still do that now that they.
I think their audience got too big for them to be able to do their mid-roll shout-outs.
That could be. Also, Twitch doesn't let you do that. So if they're on Twitch, that doesn't happen at all. But
no, Max Fun.
Yeah.
Never had an issue with it though.
Right, because that's just essentially whatever.
It's the podcast version of PBS.
Yeah. The big problem with that kind of stuff, which is it's interesting that YouTube has been so chill about it, is like basically competing advertisements, right? Like if your show becomes sponsored by something, then usually people don't want to put their ads on it for the same, because they could be conflicting, right? Like, buy a Toyota pickup, check out these sweet butt plugs. It's like, okay, hold on a second.
Yeah, I think that the way the McElroys did it though specifically is that like right there, their mid-roll was something like Billboard or something. Like it was specifically, it wasn't an ad space for companies. It was for viewers to do shout outs, right? So,
yeah, which I think that would be really fun. And I think if people really are displeased with the ads, because like Twitch, my problem with like the way Twitch does it is Twitch will put like 2.5 to 5 minutes of unskippable ads in the middle of a stream, which I think is stupid. I think that's really stupid. So if that's what YouTube is doing, then that's something I need to know about, and I'll turn it off. But depending on what they're doing, it makes a big difference in the ad revenue, because it's the difference between making like 10 cents a stream or $5 a stream, and it's like, definitely makes a difference. So
I've got this stream up on another monitor, and I was able to skip my ads. So
okay, yeah, keep me posted. If it becomes annoying, maybe we'll try to switch to a live stream or a sponsored model. And then if we can get somebody to do a shout out or something for like $10, then we'll just turn off the ads. I'm fine with that. I have no problem with doing that.
Alright, I'm just gonna have to move this aside for a little bit.
I would also like to know if the memberships make you not watch ads. But maybe not. So I think I have a membership up for like $1. And then that gives you access to like the Discord, Patreon stuff too, which is nice. Glad to hear your eyes moving. Yeah, okay, gonna lurk on Halloween lo-fi. Nice, that sounds awesome. And yeah, I think my eye's getting better. It's still not great right now, but it's getting better. So when I was talking to my doctor about it, he looked at me and he's like, "Now listen, the recovery time for this is 3 to 6 months. Not like it could be fine. It's going to take 3 to 6 months." And I was like, okay. He's like, just hedge your bets. All right, whatever, your expectations. Hedge your expectations. 6 months. I was like, all right. So hopefully it will keep improving. It's been a week now, and it's all right. It's all right. It's the best way I can say it. Better than it was. I'm no longer super dizzy, so.
That's something. That's an important step.
Yeah. Was this supposed to be a soul knife? It's a rogue. It didn't say he was a soul knife.
Yeah, I don't think they gave a specific subclass. At least as far as I remember.
A dapper fancy rogue, as I think what the suggestion was.
Yeah. I mostly remember Jack the Ripper aesthetic.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So we'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
I can insert ads and I can delay ads. I don't know what that means. Create a highlight video. Oh, I can add stream markers. Okay, I should start doing that whenever we start a new sketch. Oh, appear in video editor after you stream. That's not what I thought that was. How do people put like their own little time bars in there? Because that would be fun. Like Philip DeFranco puts each story in its own time code. That'd be fun to do for each of the characters. This is a really weird pose. I've just discovered. I love this huge coat though. Maybe I should give him mutton chops. Mutton chops are always fun. I think it's when you're editing videos after segments. Adding segments. Okay, I'll take into that. Arthur Stabman's the name. Drawing sleeves is a whole thing.
A pain in the ass.
Yeah. Cosmic, hello. Doing all right. Doing all right. You alright, Cricket? Mind Flayer Tadpole this time for the surgery. Yeah, gross. Did your eye explode? It did in February. Yeah. In February, I had a whole bunch of bleeding into my eyeball, which took a few months to get fixed up and cleared up, and then now we just went through surgery to get all of the scar tissue removed. So my vision is less distorted now, just bad. Now it's just bad. No distortion is better. Commissions are open again if people are interested in getting things drawn. Got a few little projects to work on. I have to do a whole study about freaking coat sleeves because this is hot garbage.
I saw something about clothing folds the other day. I'm trying to remember what it was. It might have been a YouTube tutorial. Might have been something I came across Googling. Let me see.
Disowned heir to the Stabman fortune. Yeah, exactly. The problem is that, like, coat sleeves do this.
Yeah, they...
And then when you bend them, they either buckle and fold, or they, like, crumple. And it's just... It's so weird, because there's an arm in there. And the arm should be the thing deciding how things bend. But, like... Really, it should be super tight on the elbow because the elbow is the thing that's like forcing it.
Yeah.
And then loose off the wrist. That means that like this is really punchy. And then you got to follow the curve of the arm. That's not bad. Yeah, the shoulders I guess should be stiff. We have a pinch here. Okay.
It's so much harder when you're drawing clothes that have structure in them, like
yeah,
like
that does look better. Thank you.
Coat.
Thank you for the
Yeah.
reference. Reference people, use your references.
Always worth taking a couple of minutes.
Please, Mr. Stabman was my father. Call me Victor. Alright, I think I'm going to call that one there. Never underestimate the power of a cane, people. Canes are terrifying.
Yeah.
What if stick with hook on it? Like, you wouldn't begrudge an old man his walking stick, would you? He's a wizard. Take it away from him. You fools. That's one of my... It's probably like my second favorite Gandalf line in the whole book.
Yeah. I love that side eye that Aragorn gives Gandalf in the movie as well. Like,
really?
yeah. We have to give up all of our weapons, but you can keep the most powerful weapon any of us brought into this. You're great.
Oh, god damn it. I just knocked over my glass of water. Hold on a second. Yep, cat. I'm not gonna blame you, but I blame you a little bit.
Cowboys weren't really known for like ear jewelry, right?
No.
I probably shouldn't give this cowboy jackrabbit just a shit ton of earrings, but I really want to.
Okay, well, that's another keyboard that I probably just destroyed. We'll throw it in the humidifier, or the hell's it called? Oh no. Dehydrator. Put it in the hydrator for a little while. We'll see if that fixes it. Otherwise,
I was gonna say bag of rice. I know that doesn't actually work.
Oh, that does. Some stuff. Rice is a good desiccant. But it's not like not magic. We'll see what happens. I can't get to my mouse. Hold on a second. All my cables are screwed up. What is happening? What's going on here? Nothing's ever easy. There we go. Now I can just plug this in over here. Okay, I've got a mouse again. That's helpful. Let me close all of this weird shit that opened while my keyboard freaked out. Do you want to start Cortana? No. No, I don't. Stop that. Okay. Oh my god. Everything. It's just like it just started spamming buttons. What was I doing? I was trying to get a glass of water, and then the cat jumped at me and then knocked the glass over. I don't know where my dice are now. There we go. All right, we're gonna roll again. Here we go. 16. If Ghost Rider was playing a female blue tiefling warlock, what? Played by a female tiefling warlock with an affinity for rock music. Tiefling warlock, Ghost Rider style. Okay. That feels kind of like fan art, but not. I think it's close to not enough to words. Did Discord get closed? What happened? Discord's on the wrong screen now. Okay, cool. Luckily, I have 2 keyboards, so.
That's good. I only have 1, so I gotta be careful.
Yeah. What color did the chat decide? Oh, did YouTube get closed? What happened to my YouTube? There we go. Oh, okay. Let's see what's happening here. I vote for Victor Stabman because recurring character in Rook0's mythos. I'll put that down as a no thank you. He encourages rugby's antics and secretly is in the cult of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. I don't know if people know about mayonnaise, Hash Brown. Air blowing ASMR. Yeah, sorry about that.
It has been a while since we've done a mayonnaise. Almost October. We should.
Is it?
It's a good,
good
time to bring her back.
That's true. Is it considered a work expense for tax artists if you need to replace your keyboard as a content creator? Cat and objects on tables, mortal enemies. Yeah. So if that was a real question, Cosmic, it can be. The problem with tax write-offs is you have to basically denote usage. So if you only use that keyboard for your business purpose, yes, 100% you can write it off. But if you also use it for like everyday use, then you have to define to the IRS what percentage of time it is being used as an office thing, which is, in my mind, a pain in the ass. So yeah, I would say if you're gonna buy office stuff for your work, try to keep it as separate as possible. That's my suggestion. What color? Green. Uh-oh. I wasn't supposed to pick green for this one. That's my bad. We'll see how it looks. And it's gonna be a Ghost Rider, a green Ghost Rider. Oh no, what have we done? It did say blue tiefling. But that's not how this show works. Conundrum.
The blue was probably a detail for me if I had gotten it.
Yeah. Purple. Red. Okay, can people hear me? Everything got kind of shuffled around a bit. How's that sound?
Everything sounds good to me.
Don't put drinks on your desk. It's a bad idea. I feel very silly. They did say blue, yeah. What's halfway between a blue and a green? Wait, right there? That's both blue and green. We'll do that. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, we could do something with mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is the god of slaughter. She's terrifying.
She's a unicorn. Sort of.
Sort of, yeah.
What does an 8 get me? Oh, I just threw my dice everywhere.
A kobold artificer specializing in rifle and reusable magitech grenades, named Snipple.
Okay. Kobold is fun.
Cat, you get jack shit for 2.5 hours. He's so grumpy. It's raining outside today, and so Pixel is just like losing his mind.
I love a small creature with who's an artificer specializing in rifles, especially if we can go like really big elephant gun rifles. bigger the gun with the smaller the artificer, the funnier it is to me.
Just like giant explosive.
Pretty much. I mean, you can't tell me there's any goblin in lore that wouldn't just fucking love to ride atop a tank shooting 50 caliber.
I don't know if a goblin could shoot a 50 caliber.
I mean, if it was mounted properly, maybe.
Yeah, it would need to be mounted. That's kind of the fun thing about like using large size weapons is like it's just a lot of times it's not physically possible for things to wield that, but like that makes it kind of fun. But also, how do you make that work? What is the backstory here if I'm not too late for a suggestion? I don't know what you mean by that. Can you make a suggestion? Yeah, Cosmic, you can still add one to the list, but like I don't know the backstory of any of these characters.
Yeah, we specifically ask not to have the backstory. Gets in the way of the art. Or I should say, it gets in the way of us getting to as many drawings as we do.
Too much detail can be a bad thing. I was looking at Fiverr the other day, which apparently is just inundated with AI art, which makes sense. I'm glad I don't use Fiverr anymore, but like, there's a whole bunch of people that are AI artists that don't want to say they're AI artists, and a good one of those like, tell me you're an AI artist without telling me you're an AI artist is like one sentence maximum, no detail or specifics on items, and it's like, okay, that seems very, very strange. What's the backstory on mayonnaise?
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's really funny that seems to be a reoccurring theme that people point out is like that you can't suggest specific gear or items, and it's like that seems like a pretty easy thing for an artist to do, unless the artist is a computer.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, mayonnaise happened one day because we were talking about how horrifying horses are IRL.
Yeah. Horses are terrifying. And somebody wanted me to draw a unicorn, and I wanted to draw a sexy lady, so I did that.
You also wanted to draw a skull, so we got all three of those things wrapped into one.
So Mayonnaise, her avatar is a centaur, sometimes / top half of a lady with a horse skull, usually with tentacles, sometimes on fire. I guess it's not a horse skull, it's a unicorn skull. She's pretty great. If people would like to tip to draw mayonnaise, that's fine too. We do that on Twitch for channel points, but we don't have channel points here. YouTube's all about that cold hard cash. Does wow, I can't think of Hell Rider. That's not right. Ghost Rider. Does Ghost Rider have a neck, or is it just fire? I want to say it's just fire.
I remember it as just being fire. I don't remember seeing any vertebrae. Okay, so need a bandolier of grenades for sure.
I like that. Good idea. Allie Briggs just had a birthday, and I know this because she does this thing where every year on her birthday she paints a self-portrait, and I think that's really, really nice. I might start doing that. So next year I might just start painting a self-portrait of myself. Could be fun. Maybe that's how we'll deal with the face reveal thing.
Alternately, you could instead redesign your mask.
Yeah. I think I did that last year, or 2 years ago whenever I did that. I could work on that too. Sniffle is my kobold. He is wanted in 13 kingdoms, purely by circumstance. I mean, isn't that always by circumstance? What does that mean? Maybe I don't understand. If something is purely by circumstance. What other option is there? He blew up an inn and was going to stay in by accident. By tinkering, and at other times people mess with his tools, so it causes an explosion. He killed the king on accident. So that's kind of I would say that's still on you. If you're tinkering with explosives and then they blow up, and that's like, oops, that was an accident. It's like, well, yeah, but you're still responsible for that.
Yeah, those explosives would not have been there if it was not for you.
Check your tools, people. Always check your tools.
If your wood shop burns down because of your negligence and it takes out an entire neighborhood with it, like, your fault. Doesn't matter if it was an accident, still your fault. Legally speaking. You get punished differently because it's not malicious, but
yeah,
still your fault.
That's fair. What is circumstantial evidence?
Circumstantial evidence is stuff that's inferred. It means it's not like hard or real evidence. It means somebody's played Sudoku with details in order to come to the conclusion that you're the most reasonable perpetrator.
Someone gets killed with your car, ergo you did it because it's your car.
Correct, yeah.
Gotcha. It just blew up in an inn 13 times, and 12 of the times people tried to steal his tools. I'm very confused, Western Justice. This seems like a very strange... You never killed the king. Okay, well, that's good. Bearded Vulture era Coker Gunslinger with massive arm wings. Alright, put it on the list. On the list it goes.
Probably not going to be able to fly with massive armor.
Oh, does that say armor? I read that as massive arm.
Oh, I thought
Massive
I
arm
heard you
wings.
say armor. I don't know. You're the one who's reading the list. I'm just...
I thought I misread it.
going off what I hear you say.
Misread it.
He could have massive arms and just be like a super buff bearded vulture Aarakocra.
Vultures have pretty big wingspans, don't they?
They do. They are very efficient gliders, I should say. Not quite as efficient as, say, an albatross.
Steve Cat. Did you not hear me tell the other cat that they get nothing? Something has happened. I think because of me being like just kind of laid up for the last few weeks, the cats have kind of lost their timing.
Mm.
Hello, Skip Cat. Are you gonna come up here and just be annoying? Is that your plan now? Oh man, I need you to not jump up here. Nope. Nope. Reminds me of the old Elder Scrolls and Morrowind. Some people draw separate wings on Aarakocras. Gotcha. He wears a mustache as a disguise. Kind of like Dr. Fate. Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. Mantle of Vengeance.
The eternal spirit of, well, screw you too.
Is that how you see vengeance played out? Vindictive.
Sometimes that was mostly a joke, but I mean sometimes that's what it feels like to
Petty
me.
vindictiveness. Not that I have a better definition, I just...
Sorry, the muzzle of my gun is totally encroaching on your territory here.
That's alright. I think I'm going to draw a shitty chain and then go for the next one.
Alright.
Ghost Rider, I feel like you should just embrace the blocked colors.
Oh, 100% agree. Right, like Ghost Rider is definitely supposed to be a silhouette.
Yeah. Not enough chain weapons. I've definitely drawn some chains. Like I've drawn like a chain devil and Chitons. They're like, I guess those are also chain devils. They're just a different variation. Was Spawn and Ghost Rider supposed to be kind of analogous?
I'm not sure. I can never tell.
I didn't read a lot of Spawn comics.
Me neither. Like the most I know about Spawn like comes from the movie that they did in the 90s. That was not good.
But the movie portrayed him very much as just like this spirit of vengeance versus the kind of devil's hellhound that I think he kind of was in the comics.
Yeah, I know that in the comics, Spawn, like definitely has like an angelic redemption arc and eventually wins angel wings. But I have no idea how or when or why or what his motivation was to get that, or if he was motivated to get that. It's all a big blank for me.
Similar job, different universe. Okay. Ghost Rider is my inspiration for the Whip of the Paladin. One is more demon flavored than the other, but yeah, very similar. Okay. Ghost Rider could be one shot. Oh, could one shot Spawn though? Yeah, I assume so. Because Ghost Rider can like just punish the wicked, right?
Yeah.
Marvel definitely has some weird, like, power creep.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like DC definitely has the whole Superman thing, which I won't like, but Marvel has a
Marvel has a universal power problem. DC has
yeah.
specific character power problems.
Yep. The
Yeah,
Phoenix
100%
Force.
agree with you.
It's like, well, fuck. Can't deal with that, I guess.
Yeah. I think Marvel also spent a lot more time thinking about the fabric of the reality that they were building.
Yeah.
And I think that they made magic and gods make a fair bit more sense within their setting than DC ever did.
Yeah. We've talked a little bit about that in the past, but I think a good way to reiterate it is Marvel very much wanted to talk about our world. Like, so there's a lot of stuff about like human rights and social rights and stuff.
Yep.
Kind of built into their comic universe. And so it's easy to write a story that is completely based in our universe, whereas DC said, no, this is a different place. We have Metropolis, we have Gotham, we have Star City. And so it just feels a little disconnected. All right, I think I'm done with that. Penzance Stare requires that you regret something. Oh, that's the thing that Ghost Rider does. Which means Thanos and Deadpool are immune. Oh, because they don't regret anything? Okay. Purple. Purple for the next one. Ooh, doo, doo, doo. 19. Zakandi? Tzakandi. Sorcerer or maybe a barbarian. Well, that's two different things. Because they might fit the lizard folk illithids better. Oh, interesting.
Oh, is that what it's Tsakandi is?
Apparently.
We're still getting a lot of Baldur's Gate bleed over with the illithids, aren't we?
Do they I don't think that stuff is in Baldur's Gate. The weird blendy stuff. Because in Baldur's Gate, like, everybody that gets touched by a tadpole just turns into a fucking regular illithid.
Oh, yeah.
But
I
it
meant
be.
specifically the illithid themed everything.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's good. It's a good game.
All right.
Dude, this song has been going on forever. I don't know what's happening. I feel like there's like 3 songs in this playlist. We'll try that for a little bit. Kind of how Mjolnir wants someone pure of heart. It never sure said pure good. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know if that's how that works. I can agree that
I have a feeling that's something you can't letter of the law, not spirit of the law. I'm pretty sure.
Like the Beta Ray Bill thing, I always kind of liked because it's Beta Ray Bill was able to use the hammer because he embodied Thor more than Thor did. He was able to use Mjolnir, but that was because whoever like the way they wrote it for a lot of the comics was essentially, as long as Thor was doing these things for his people, like like as long as he was worthy of it, he could wield it. And so Beta Ray Bill essentially was, his whole essence was to protect and help his people, and that was what Thor was supposed to be. Like, that was supposed to be his edicts, his the things that he was about. And so he just, like, that made him worthy. And that's why Captain America is the same thing. Like, Captain America just wants to help and protect people. I like that.
Yeah, I do as well.
That's how his evil sister could command Mjolnir. Her heart is pure and evil. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it probably is just. Oh, we always go off on morality tangents. So
yeah,
I think the problem is that good and evil are constructs that are completely perspective based. Just has to be pure. It doesn't matter what the content is. Okay, I'm drawing a...
If we're going off of classical definitions, then evil has never been pure.
Yeah, are you talking about quantity or... Pure salt is not the same as pure calcium. I said calcium. Sodium, sorry.
Yeah.
Sodium, calcium. I don't think those been. Is there a calcium salt?
There's lots of calcium salts.
Okay.
A salt is made when an acid and when equal acids and bases react with each other. And the precipitate that's formed is a salt. Most often it is a metal and a non-metal.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought salt was just a metal and a non-metal fusing. Usually people aren't evil for evil's sake. Yeah.
I am rolling real middle of the road. What does a 10 get me?
Fiend Lock. The Fiend Lock Protector Asimar. I don't know what the Fiend Lock is. With blonde curly hair. His pact is more made by necessity than intention, but he's still kind of a trickster, somewhere between Loki and Bugs Bunny. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what a Fiendlock Protector Asimar is. Is a Fiendlock like a type of warlock?
I think it refers to a specific warlock patron.
So when people get salty when I play games, it's because of balance of hate and talent. Good to know. I mean, do people think you're an evil player? Are you doing... What's injustice? See ya. Oh, okay. Check you later. He's ringing out.
Will you read that prompt for me one more time? There was a lot there.
Could you draw a Fiendlock Protector Asimar with blonde curly hair? That's pretty much it. Everything else is flavor.
Okay.
Made by necessity, then intuition, then intention. Still kind of a trickster. Think Loki or Bugs Bunny. Trickster Fiendlock Protector Asimar. I need to look up these. Oh, is that how it is, Cat? Pixel will only sit in a place if Skippy really likes sitting there. And he's just like, this is my spot now. I wasn't interested in this yesterday, but now I need it. Oh, that is a Cthulhu-looking motherfucker if I've ever seen one. All right. Angel may deal with a demon. Oh, that makes sense. Pact of the Fiend, so like an angel-like guy who made a pact with the devil. If you want to skip the chat, got it. It's mine. Oh no, Island Kitties. We'll definitely draw it. It just trying to figure out the best way to go about it.
Not saying it's too complicated. I'm just trying to get all my ducks in a row so I can make a sketch that I'm proud of. That's all. Also, I try really hard not to play a full warlock ever.
I'm playing my
at
first.
At this point, I try really hard not to play 5e at all either. So
yeah, I'm playing my first full wizard in a long time. It is confusing.
The Googles says that a Fiend Pact Warlock specifically deals with fire, and the subclass is built to deal damage and kill high health targets.
Interesting.
It looks like it's a melee specialty, anyway? I don't know.
It's got a good bit of defense and control with some damages from fire spells. That's pretty cool. Most people only use Warlock as a pistol for charisma builds. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did for I tacked a couple of levels of Warlock onto a charismatic fighter. What's the fun fighter? With battlefield control.
Champion?
No. I can't remember.
That's all right. Barbarian Sorcerer. I had a lot of fun playing Baldur's Gate with the Illithid stuff. You can like use telekinesis and just fling people around and stuff. There's a lot of shenanigans in that game that like don't work quite the way that the game does. It's like bonus action flinging people around the room and grabbing them without without having to roll for it. You just grab and throw. So, yeah,
Reaction, push somebody off a cliff.
Yep. It's pretty silly. I also don't have, like, wizards are essentially sorcerers, and it's a little strange. There's no prepared spell, so I don't actually know why the wizard is the way the wizard is. Or did 5e just get rid of that? Now I can't remember. Are wizards still prepared casters in
5e, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Eldritch Knight, maybe. Is that the fun fighter? I like Eldritch Knight. I've always played an Eldritch Knight. Not always. I guess I've tried the other ones a few times, but like I usually go Eldritch Knight instead of Wizard. They deserve the best ability. For the Aasimar or the Warlock? What are they nerfing?
Eldritch Blast. Please say they're nerfing Eldritch Blast.
Trick question, Ranger is the fun fighter. See, I would argue that fighter is the fun Ranger too. If you want to play a wizard, just play an Eldritch Knight. You want to play a Ranger, just play a fighter. It's fine. Like, everything can be played as a fighter. It's much better that way. John, welcome in. They did it for simplicity because thinking is hard. Yeah. I remember reading an article about them being kind of confused about, like, how the hell are spell slots supposed to work? So we did finish Baldur's Gate, and we played a cleric, and we had like a good cleric and a paladin fighter, or a paladin tank, and then a fighter ranger and a sorcerer, and like we just stomped that game. Like it was way too easy. So this time we're playing it again with a little bit more of a chaotic party, and it's different. It's definitely different. Party comp makes a big difference. How are you doing today, John, by the way? Welcome in. So I gotta go barbarian or sorcerer here. I don't know how I'm gonna make that look. Same issue in Neverwinter Online. It's based on 4E, so spells are powers. Got it. The only difference in classes is what powers you get. Okay. I guess I could still go with Illithid. Drapery. What do you call clothes? Fapperies?
Robes.
No, there's a term for like specific types of clothes. I was gonna say trappings, but that doesn't sound right. Because I think that's for like building decorations. Faffery? I've lost a word.
I'm not sure what you're grasping
Vestments.
for.
Vestments might work, but not quite.
Vestments works.
Maybe it was Vestments. He got a little too disagreements with one of the D&D changes and reverted back to the 2014 Player's Handbook. Warlocks is one of the best martials, and Eldritch Blast is still the best cantrip, although it seems more like they're making it occasions affect all cantrips. Still like Pathfinder's way of doing spells, but I do think having all the different spell lists is it's getting a little weird. Specifically just in how the different game system, like Path Builder and whatever, have to deal with them.
Yeah.
I don't like that. It's just like, just show me a spell list for this character, please. Like, nope, they have to be separate. It's like, why? Why do they have to be separate? So I think that could be easily cleaned up with some tweaking. But
I'm totally over Vancian spell slot style magic for TTRPGs anyway.
You want to go back to just full prepared magic all the time?
No, the full prepared magic is the Vancian system.
Oh. That's right. You want to go back to like magic MP, right?
Yeah. I want to go back to a mana pool system. I think that magic should function more like key powers functions.
I still think key points are just spell slots. So
I mean, they are, but the system is slightly different and a fair bit more plastic.
let me think about this more. Because in my mind, then you're not actually mad at spell slots, you're mad at spell levels? Is what that seems like?
Kind of, but not quite.
Because it seems like if everything was a level 1 spell, but you just got access to them at different levels, then that's key points. Like, there is no spell level. It's all access to something and spell points.
Yeah, and how much of it you can do, and how much of the whatever resource you can put into it.
Vestments are robes and signify social or religious orders, common wizards, sorcerers, guards, I think Roman sentries. Yeah, I mean, okay. That's not what I was thinking of then. I was thinking of a different word. Let me just look it up. Okay, trappings is the outward signs of something. So if you were saying the trappings of a wizard, that's kind of what I was looking for. It's just not very common way to say that. But things like signs and like spell books would also be considered trappings of a wizard. Or like a broom. Or a tower. They don't have to be something worn.
I made this fella's head real small.
Mind flayers. Have you had an upward tick in illithid request since the yeah, we have. We actually talked about that a second ago.
Yep.
There's been a lot of illithids. Welcome in burning. They went and gave warlocks a second extra attack at 11, and with pack weapon being a cantrip now, it combos with so much it's insane. Oh, so you can do like, so now if you do like green blade or whatever the hell it's called, green flame blade, does that work on both attacks, or is it only the first time you attack?
I believe in the spell description it should be only the first time you attack.
Yeah, I don't see why that would be too powerful.
if somebody at your table is putting it on everything, they're not playing rules as written.
I don't think you can cast 2 cantrips in the same turn, so. So warlock's gonna be a viable melee fighter. Yeah, low hit points would be the trappings of a wizard. There you go. You're gonna have to sell me on this cosmic. I don't see that being a problem. You can cast 2 cantrips. You can't cast 2 leveled spells. Okay, but like, so if you're using a cantrip, you still only have 1 base action.
Yeah.
So if you're using your action to cast your cantrip, and then because you're a warlock, you get to attack once with that cantrip, the second attack doesn't do anything. It doesn't give you another cantrip cast. You just get a secondary hit. Let me see what Hashman says here.
I don't think you get another attack. I think that you can make 2 attacks with the weapon, or you can cast 1 spell.
See, that would make more sense to me. Yeah, because you're using your action to cast the cantrip, and then you just get a bonus attack with it, which doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. Twin spell, sorcerer's meta magic. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
I think that's different.
Yeah, that's meta magic, and that's different, and that has a specific cost. You could do that as a sorcerer.
Slot casting abilities are chosen from predefinite limit lists and assigned to level. I can't read that. Sorry, Hash around my eyes are just bad. Once chosen dynamically during down prep time. Great example, wizards. Okay. Point casting abilities are learned with individually assigned prices and can be paid out as designed. Non-vital mana point stats normalized for stereotypical martial artists. Monks in 5e. Abilities are learned with individual assigned prices to be paid out. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So I think the reason that who was it? Was it Cosmic who was saying that green flame blade?
I said
was
green
oh.
flame blade.
Yeah,
But
like
yes.
green flame blade can target 2 creatures, but if like it's still just 1 spell, and that 1 spell takes up your whole action. You don't get to make 2 attacks with it. So I'm agree with you. I don't understand why it would become brokenly overpowered, unless somebody was misreading things and fudging rules.
I want to see more interesting mechanics given to non-magic classes. Play 4e. Yeah, play 4th edition.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's just that's what it is.
It's just a lot. Yeah.
It's just a lot.
I haven't played it, but my understanding is if you can find a virtual tabletop to run it, which shouldn't be hard nowadays, it's a lot more fun, a lot easier to run.
Yeah, well, it gets really fun in combat. There's a lot to it, and it can get overwhelming if you're not tracking well.
Much like 2nd edition Pathfinder.
Yeah. I think that actually is 4th edition isn't too far off from 2nd edition.
Really?
But 4th edition had the problem of instead of let me put it a different way. 2nd edition solves a lot of the problems that 4e had by just doing the 3-point system, the 3-point action system.
Right.
Because with 4th edition it was actions, standard actions, once per days, once per hour, once per combat. So you had 5 different stats you had to track. And so some of your moves were only viable at different points. And it was just like, I don't want to deal with this. So, whereas Pathfinder has some of those concepts, like, oh, focus points. You can use this once per day, but they give you the focus points to keep track of it, and then they give you a bunch of options instead of it being tracked individually per action.
Yeah.
4E is more of board game and less of narrative-driven game, so and way closer to base original D&D. Yeah, like 4E is really fun. Like when I played it, it was really fun, but it didn't have the kind of like staying power that I wanted to do with it, because it was just really fun to sit down and like battle something out. So it works a lot better as like a battle simulator thing. 4E, like PSU, is designed for simulating cooperative video games. Yeah, which isn't a lot of people wanted. More variety after that. Yeah, and I think it was also a little too early for its time. Like they just wanted you to track. It works so much better with like a VTT or a video game format. It felt like World of Warcraft, the board game, and that was kind of the problem. It's just like, why aren't we just playing World of Warcraft right now? And that's what my friends did. We just stopped playing 4E and played World of Warcraft.
Problem solved.
Yep. And I think that is what Wizard thought people wanted at the time, because Warcraft was so popular. They're just like, why don't we just make it Warcraft? Because everybody at that point in time was trying to make Warcraft.
That's pretty funny, actually. It's just, if everybody wants to play this thing, let's just rip off that IP.
Yep. Pretty common. This is the Halo killer. This is the WoW killer. It's like, no, it's not. It's not how this works.
Do you have any idea how many Minecraft killers I've lived through?
Yep. Still playing Minecraft?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. I think the art even felt closer to WoW than other editions. Yeah, I think they actually hired a bunch of the artists that worked on Warcraft to do a lot of the art, especially for like the card game. They made a whole bunch of like card decks for the characters to like track things, and a lot of that art felt very much like Warcraft. I think I am done with this bad boy. Lizards. Lizarthids. All right, what's the next one? What time is it? It's 12:51. I think I'm doing okay. I think we can keep going. But I am running out of steam. My stamina is not as high as it should be. A bard half thrycreen. What? They look mostly human, but they have fly eyes. Okay, mandibles, fly wings. They wear masquerading masks and clothing. Well, now, hold on a minute. If they look human, but have fly face and then cover up their fly face, what am I drawing? What am I drawing?
Jeff Goldblum. You're drawing Jeff Goldblum.
Yes. They have the wings. What color did we go with? Purple. Oh, purple. Okay. It does sound like a fly. Oh, I forgot to do the outlines. I haven't been doing outlines this whole time. I think the color accents really help. Especially just like mute down the paper fuzz.
Yeah. I've been doing them a little bit as well, because like I already use a really soft brush, and so my outlines are already really blurry to the point where it looks like you need glasses. Doing a color outline is helping with that some.
Yeah. I think it looks really good, though. Flies don't have mandibles.
Nope, they have a proboscis.
Yeah. I'm going to go Thri-kreen. I'm going to go more Thri-kreen than fly, I think. But we'll give him the not buggy body. How do horseflies bite you if they have a proboscis? Do horseflies have mandibles?
I think their proboscis is like a cookie cutter.
Oh, so they just like rasp you real hard.
I think so. Because like mosquitoes also have a proboscis.
Yeah, I guess they have kind of a needly one though, right?
Yeah.
Normalize the mana system. A beeper, last night. Time to do it again. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I went through it. We killed all of the NPCs. I beat that game with no NPCs. So I'm gonna try again. So run down at level 11. You can bonus action Hex, main action 3 attacks with your pack weapon, assuming a great sword. 2d6 plus GFB, or Booming Blade plus Stir modifier plus Charisma plus Hex. How are you casting Booming Blade? Does Green Flame Blade stays on the sword, right? I don't remember how that works.
Flame Blade. Cast 1 action. You brandish the weapon used in the spell's casting and make a melee attack with it against one creature within 5 feet of you. On a hit, the target suffers the weapon attack's normal effects, and you can cause green fire to leap from the target to a different creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet. The second creature takes fire damage equal to your spellcasting ability modifier.
Yeah. And then, so I think once again, I think if you're casting Green Flame Blade, you only get 1 attack. Because you don't get 2 more attacks.
Right.
Do you?
I don't think so, because because it takes the 1 action to cast the cantrip, and making the single attack is part of the spell. It's part of the somatic components of the spell, right?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. Because the other thing is I think the wording on it is when you make an attack, or is it when you use your action to attack? Because that's the difference for multiple attacks in 5e.
It specifically says you brandish the weapon.
No. For regular attacks. For regular attacks.
For regular attacks.
Yeah. Does it say when you get your second attack? Does it say when you attack, you can attack twice, or does it say when you use your action to attack? Because that would be the thing that would clarify it. Depending on the wording of multiple attacks in 5e. We need to look at that.
Yep, okay. Pulling up fighter. That will tell me. Fifth level extra attack. Beginning at 5th level, you can attack twice instead of once, whenever you take the attack action on your turn.
Okay. So, does casting Green Flame Blade count as taking the attack action or casting a cantrip? I think it's casting a cantrip.
I agree. I think it's casting a cantrip. It's casting a spell.
That does, however, make Eldritch Knight kind of poop. for the same reason.
Yeah, well, Eldritch Knight has been poop in a lot of other games in Pathfinder in 3.5. Like it has it's the exact same reason why Eldritch Knight has been poop in a lot of previous games.
Yeah. Thinking of Eldritch Smite. Okay, Eldritch Smite is different. Because just like any smite, like every time you attack, you have a chance to dump spells into it. But I don't think you can Eldritch Smite on a cantrip, can you?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think basically we all agree that if multiple attacks, you need a specific attack. Yeah, because it's kind of the same thing with Pathfinder 2. Not Pathfinder as well. The way they balance that is if you wanted to get all of your attacks in, you had to use a full round action. It's like, listen, if you're going to attack 5 times, that's all you're doing this turn. And it's like, yep. Yeah. I'm not sure how Eldritch Smite works, but... Because you can smite, yeah. And then smite should cost a spell slot, though, right? In Baldur's Gate, with your paladin, you can essentially burn all of your spell slots in one turn. It's pretty funny.
I assume that's a very powerful one turn.
Yeah. You just jump in and just like, attack smite, attack smite, attack smite, reaction smite. It's just like, oh, that's all 4 before my spell slots. They're all gone now.
I've had a player try to do that in a tabletop game, first edition Pathfinder. Although not with a paladin, but with a monk, arguing that they should be able to, if they have the key points, they should be able to dump all of their key points in a round.
Just punch, smite.
Pretty much. I did not allow it. My brother did in one of his games, and it was not great for game balance or for anybody else at the table.
I honestly think that's okay. I'm okay with that kind of stuff. But the problem with that is then the next thing is like, oop, fight over. Okay, short rest everybody. It's just like, all right, now you're just delaying the game.
Yeah.
I want to dump everything and then reset. Dump everything and reset. So this is not I can't think of words today. I think I'm about burnt. Not feasible. Raw paladins in 5e can dump all of their spell slots into a single attack. Yeah. Does it not stipulate how many spell slots you could use? I suppose you could do extra damage is based on spell level. So 0 level spells slots would add 0 damage. Yeah, Cosmic, what cantrip are you spending with that? I don't get it. I'm gonna look up Eldritch Smite. I should look it up. Instead of asking over and over again. Requires level 5. Once per turn. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with your pack weapon, you can expend a warlock spell slot to deal an extra d8 force damage to a target. Plus another d8 per level of spell slot. Yeah, so you can't expend a cantrip. That's not a spell slot. Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. Let me look up the Paladin Smite. You can expend one spell slot. It says one spell slot, yeah. So
yeah.
There's a limit to it. But it does just say, it doesn't say once per turn, so every time you hit a creature, you can't expend a spell slot.
Yeah, I generally don't think 5e is balanced the best, but it is balanced pretty well. So if something feels broken, it usually is because somebody's not reading the rules.
So it said you use multiple smites. It says one spell slot when you hit a creature. So every time you hit a creature, you can put another spell slot into it. And then it's a d8 per spell level. So you could do 5d8 somehow, but that's the maximum. But like I said, if you hit somebody, attack twice or 3 times, and then with your reaction, you can just dump. Which, once again, like, I like that. I think that's great. I'm totally fine with them using a bow. Like, I don't understand the limitation for that. Is the only other thing I've thought of. So you can't dump any level of spell, but yeah, I don't think you can do multiple spell slots. But that could be fun. I'd allow somebody to do that, especially if they want to use like a hero point for it. Like, I want to dump all of my spell slots into this smite right now. Elder Smite only requires that you hit with your packed weapon, and Green Flame Blade requires that you hit with a weapon as a casting action. Yeah, Elder Smite is great. It's just it uses a spell slot, not your cantrip. That's the difference. So if you do attack 3 times with a paladin or a warlock, and you want to use Eldritch Smite, you can, for each of those attacks, dump a spell slot into it. That's why you have limited spell slots.
Yeah.
Now I want to draw poofy sleeves.
Poofy sleeves are fun.
I don't remember what class this was supposed to be now. Bard? It was a bard.
The best thing about super poofy sleeves is that basically everything boils down to a diaper fold, which is the easiest fold to draw, in my opinion.
Diaper fold? Oh, is that just kind of like poofs out and then?
It's it's the one where, like, if you have 2 anchor points,
just like
and it kind of like
got it.
Yep. Cascades like this.
You would be doing both in one action, but you can only get 1 attack. Oh, you're doing Green Flame Blade and Eldritch Smite? Yeah, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Your options
you're still
are
paying the price for it.
Yeah, you're still paying the spell slot for the Eldritch Smite. So you're good. Yeah, but yeah, you could do that. You could do Green Flame Blade and Smite in 1 attack. Totally fine. Or you could do 3 attacks and Eldritch Smite 3 times. So if you have an extra attack, you can take the attack action, hit multiple times, and Divine Smite every hit. Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Because you're spending spell slots. Which I thought Warlocks only had 2 spell slots. Is that not right? Do they get more at a level 11? I've never played a Warlock that high. I think level 9 is the highest I've ever had a Warlock. They have 3 at level 11. Okay. Yeah. You can dump all of them in 1 turn.
Oh, did I draw the ASMR version of the dickwad from The Boys?
I mean, no more than you drew Superman.
Fair. Okay.
Neither of those characters have the little curly Q. Shoot, I can't talk today. I'm so out of it. Neither of them have the own it all themselves attitude.
The quaff.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the word though. What does it mean when you have total ownership of one thing?
Monopoly.
Yeah, neither of them have the monopoly over the hair curly Q. Elliot, hello.
Gotcha.
Welcome in. They made it take a bonus action to do Divine Smite. Oh no, really? When is that changing? Because I don't think that's. I don't see that. I don't know where is that in a playtest or. That's not how it says it in the rulebook now. I could see it being a reaction. That's how it is in. No, actually, it's not. So my cleric in Baldur's Gate got the Divine Smite thing that goes off just every time I hit somebody. So like I never get a second attack, but if I hit somebody in a turn, I can just do bonus damage if I want to. I think it does take my reaction. I'm not sure about that. I think it might just be an optional thing. Might be once per turn. It's non-action raw, yeah. One D&D. Oh, the 2024 book. I haven't read that yet, so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read that. You want to keep going, or is this your last drawing, you think?
It's 110. I think this is probably my last drawing. My brain is fried.
Okay.
The current playtests are out,
fine.
largely being disappointments. Gotcha. Well, make your comments. I think that the biggest problem I have with the playtest is people getting pissed off about stuff, because like if there's something you don't like, just that's what the playtest is for. So
Yeah.
I think it's fine to be like, ooh, I don't like that, but like don't be mad at it until it comes out in the book. But really, at the end of the day, it's just like there's no reason to be mad about stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's too many people on the internet that just want to be mad.
Yeah, I do think people got in the habit of being pissed off at Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
Which is not great, but
Yeah.
I assume there are definitely still people at WotC that are trying, right?
I hope so.
So we can give them some slack.
Let's all be mad at Unity for a little while. I think the other thing people need to look at when it comes to playtests is sometimes playtests purposefully push boundaries of things. Like,
yeah.
If something is too good, like, let's see what happens if we nerf this into the ground. Does it actually affect the character? And so, like, that's part of the purpose of playtests, is to break things so that you know how to fix them and how to keep them from breaking in the future. Yeah. It's totally fine to have opinions about it, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, ooh, I don't like that. That's great. Like, that's the feedback they need. Or, this is awesome. This feels really good. But playtests are not meant to be balanced. Like, you learn nothing.
They're meant to test what the system can do.
Well, we got through quite a few of these today. We'll definitely try to do more on Friday, I think.
Yeah.
Hopefully my vision will just keep getting better. I did not throw my eye into the well of Mimir. But, I wouldn't mind being all-knowing. Then I win the lottery. That'd be nice.
Is that a Gulliver's Travels reference?
What, Mimir?
Yeah.
No, it's Odin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, right. Gotcha.
A Grung Ooze Genie Warlock. Oh, John got me. I gotta do one more now.
Well, let me know let me know when you're done with the fly guy.
I'm done with the fly guy, but I think I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I will do this ooze man.
Can I have the canvas for a second so I can save this out?
Wait until next time. All right. I mean, what time is it? I feel like I should be online more. Well, been on for 2 hours.
Yeah, I bet you could do a silly little. I mean, like grungs are not hard, right?
Yeah.
Ooze
Genie.
They're fun.
Ooze. Let's just have a chill. Let's draw a frog and then we'll call it. The Rook Feather. Hasbro is a greedy corporation. People working on games in WotC clearly still care, even their VTD, which I think is going to be overall awful for the health of the game, has care and love put into it. Yeah, I think that's a fair way to put it. Yeah. I don't know specific changes, references, comments. They just go off and just like ratio. Yeah.
Canvas is yours.
I don't necessarily know if that's true, Cosmic. That's a little bit. I guess I can't say one way or the other that they do take comments and notes, but like to dislike ratio does not. Mechanics change, like stats and numbers, so they have to be taking some notes somewhere. But once again, I'm not here to trash on WotC or defend them, so fuck them. You guys go watch Indestructible Boy. Just bash on him because he's good at that. He's much more informed than I am, so. I love highlights and arm blades and the details in the breastplate. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for the ASMR, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
Should we make this a drippy? Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah. Just glad you like it.
I'm gonna make this a drippy grung.
Yeah, I mean, because if he's gonna be an ooze, I mean,
he's an ooze warlock. Which doesn't necessarily. I did that last time when I accidentally made.
I thought it was a genie warlock.
Oh man, I gotta redo this. Grung ooze genie warlock. All right, I don't know where this is going then. We're drawing a slime frog.
One could argue that all frogs are slime frogs anyway, so no reason to overthink it.
I'm covered in mucus. Just want to put that out there that us as creatures can create. We're acid-based creatures. It's weird. Not like base-based, but like we use acid to do things.
Yeah, and the most dangerous creatures also use bases.
Is our stomach acid? It's highly acidic, right?
Yeah. Muriatic acid.
I'm a little concerned about the lack of drama lately. I feel like WotC is about to drop a bomb on us. I mean, I think the big part of it is that one, the drama that they did have, I don't want to say it was overblown, but it was just so egregious that like it was everyone had to talk about it. Everyone had to talk about it because it's just like this affects literally everybody and it's a bad idea. Now the stuff they're changing is like even with the VTT, like at the end of the day, that doesn't change the way anybody plays the game. Unless you only play on VTTs, which I play with my friends on VTTs, so that would affect me, but you can still buy the books, you can still play the game, right? Like,
yeah.
So while that sucks, but like anything they develop in that sense, it's still not fundamentally changing the way the game was, the way that the license stuff did. Because the license stuff essentially said like, hey, half the people that are writing content for this game are not allowed to anymore. It's just like, go fuck yourself. Like, that's not cool. So you said growing ooze genie lock, and I thought frog with a lava lamp. That's pretty good. I like that. Give him a little gray ooze familiar. Oh, yeah, we can do that too. I don't know. I hope there's no more drama.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing that's happening right now with Unity. Just affecting some of my friends designing games, because it's like, first off, it appears that it's only going to affect companies that make over $1 million or $100,000, which is like, I would love it if my friends' games made that much money. But at the end of the day, I don't know if it's egregious enough to really elicit the backlash it's getting. I definitely think it's a bad idea, and they should relook at it and do something different. But I always hesitate to like really jump on a bandwagon for being mad at somebody about that kind of stuff. Because yeah, a lot of corporations are greedy as fuck, and it pisses me off. But
yeah,
I want to make sure
need to be to a certain extent in order to survive as a corporation, though.
Well, yes, but also there's a big difference between this might be a little too political. I think there's company success right now in the last, I'd say 5-10 years, has really been pushed on whether or not it's growing.
Right.
And so
I agree, that's unsustainable.
Yeah, it's unsustainable. And so all of these big investors are looking at what can get them the biggest return on their investment. They don't actually care about the company, and that's the problem. And that's why we have all these billionaires that are getting more billionaired, because they are essentially giving people money and demanding that the return. And this is partially because I think some people are promising high returns. Like, we're going to double your money in a year. It's like, that's not something that normally happens, but now it has been for the last 5 years. Companies are able to do that. And then when all of a sudden it's like, oh, our company is now making the same as we did last year, the investors pull their money out. Because they're like, I wanted to make more than I made last year. And it's like, that's like, almost nobody can do that. Only these people with tons of money are doing that. And so it's stupid. I think the biggest issue with Unity changing the rules now is there's no reason to trust that Unity won't change. I've heard, like, no offense to you, Burning, I've heard 5 or 6 people say that. I think Asmongold said it. And I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Because like 15 years ago, that's what everybody said about Unreal. And then Unreal came out with ray tracing, and they're like, oh, we love Unreal again. So I don't. Because at the time, Unreal just decided, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pull our free trial license that we let people learn on and charge people. And everyone's like, fuck you. And everybody went to Unity. And then Unity was like, we're going to start charging people, make people pay for the service. And they're like, we're going back to Unreal. And then Unity's like, whoa, we're only going to make you have to pay if you make over $100,000 in a year. And people are like, oh, okay, fuck Unreal. And then Unreal came out with ray tracing, and they jump back. So like, it's this weird cycle of just anger and rage. And I don't know how to capture that intent with discussion anymore. Like, I feel like there's no way for people to, talk to Twitch and be like, hey, I'm not happy with how this is going. Twitch just decides not to talk about anything, then they do something, and then they ask for forgiveness or just do nothing, right? Like, that seems to be the new public model because they don't want the discussion. And I think a lot of that is based around just shareholders. So yes, greedy companies, that happens. Because the company itself is essentially only getting its money from those investors. And that's kind of the unsustainable business model, I think. And I do think if, like, that was one of the reasons I like Unity for a long time, because it's like, hey, if you make more than $100,000, it's like, I would love if that happens. Like, then you start owing us money. It's not back paid. It's then you start owing us money. And that was the big thing with WotC, is like, they're like, oh, by the way, people are going to start owing us money for whatever they make now. It's like, no, you can't just start doing that, right? That's theft.
Yeah.
So instant internet memes means instant rage. However, it seldom lasts. Yeah, and I think that's maybe that's what I'm trying to get at here. Is like a lot of it just feels reactionary. And no offense, Burning, is not an original take at all. That's the problem I have with that comment. Not that they're not wrong. Asmongold was not wrong in that by any means. But I've heard it repeated so many times that I'm like, I don't know if that is actually people taking the time and thinking about this, or if it's just the outrage is because everyone's outraged and we're supposed to be outraged. And it's like, take a minute and actually think about it. Even one of my friends, I'm working on their game. They posted a whole spiel about it, just like, well, we can't use Unity anymore. No more, we're done. And it's just like, that's gonna fuck us. like, unfortunately, we're already a few years into development. You have to keep using Unity in this one situation. If you want to completely start the game over, we can. It's just going to be, another year of time. So your outrage towards Unity is now costing us a year of time versus dealing with their bullshit this one time we make a game. And that's a legitimate decision that a lot of companies are going to have to make now. And so it just is what it is. I'm not saying there's one way right or wrong about it. So, I've really liked Unity for a long time, and I will probably keep using it because it's free still, even though it's not free if I make a successful game. So we'll see what happens, but I'm also not happy about that. But it matters about options. Everyone needs to take their own stock of the situation. Make their own decisions.
I agree with that.
I don't know where this slime with the boob, like the little bubble dongle thing on their head came from. Is that from
shows up in
Dragon
League of Legends,
Quest?
doesn't it?
Yeah, like it's a pretty common trope. I don't know if that's from Dragon Quest or from Slime Rancher or what, but I like it. It's fun. I think Maple Story also had little slime bubbles. What was this guy supposed to be? Warlock?
Yeah. A GD Warlock.
Sorry for my rant there, everybody.
I can never remember which genie is the water one.
Undines?
Undines are the elemental genie kin.
Yeah. Like, apparently it will only take up 4% of revenue at max. Yeah, like, there's a lot of clarification that needs to be done. Because, like, 4% myriads. There you go. Fathomless warlocks.
Yeah, okay. Merits, yeah.
Yeah, 4% of revenue, like, that sucks, but that's not terrible. And from what my understanding of it was, once you reach $1 million, then every time the game is this is the thing that doesn't make any sense. Is like whenever the game is installed, you owe 4% of the revenue. It's like 4% of the revenue of the game, or 4% of the revenue of that installed copy. If more than one person installs the same copy code, is that multiple instances of the percentage? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, Unity saw Genshin making absolute bank and wanted a big slice of the pie and forgot it would make impact smaller devs more. Yeah, and I think that's the same thing with what happened with WotC too. Is they're like, hey, we see all these people making books, we want some of that money. It's like, back the fuck up. Just straight up back the fuck up. So
it's just because everybody's going to like a sales tax sort of model.
Yeah. Which isn't, I mean, like, Unity has always done something like that. Like,
yeah,
Maybe not. So let me think about it. Because like Unity initially, they had a personal use up to a certain amount, and then once your company made more than like $100,000 a year, you had to pay for licensing of Unity. But what that really meant is whatever dev you had. So if you had like a lead dev and a whole bunch of people working underneath that, you needed to have a $2,000 a year subscription for each of your developers. And that's one of the reasons like developers and coders were separate, because it's like you can have someone developing code in whatever language they want, and then the developers are the people that implement it into Unity to save on costs. So Unity is making money based on the size of your company, and then on production, if your company is already that big, when you publish the game, you pay them a flat fee of your revenue for publication. So if your game makes $1 million in a year, they want a cut of that. So I don't see how that's different than per installation, because it should only be 4% of the revenue from that installation.
Yeah.
So if they sell it for $10, yeah, they're going to get 40 cents. Like that sucks, but that's a knowable thing, right? So then you just charge $10.40 so that Unity gets its cut.
Yeah.
Versus, if you sell it for this, they were saying a whole bunch of smaller companies are going to get screwed, and I'm like, how? If the smaller company isn't making any money and they're selling these games for like $2, Unity's still only taking 4% of that $2, I think. Like, so I'm still really confused about it. If it were charge or a fee per purchase, I could see that working, because that makes sense. Like that's kind of what I'm saying. That's why I don't understand the install. Install doesn't make any sense, because 10 people install a game and then you owe them 40% of your revenue. Like that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all, and that's not how codes work. So
yeah,
mobile devs having it as a free download and then pay one price instead of the game inside of the game. Could be working around more mobile devs having it free download. Oh, I see what you're saying. So then, but see, even yeah, that's weird. It's been a long time. I've only ever released free games. I've never actually had a game that is purchasable. So all of the games I released, we had to pay. Basically, Unity let you publish on Windows for free, and then if you wanted to do a mobile thing, you had to pay an additional, like you needed the Pro license. You had to pay per use of Unity. So I don't fully understand how that works. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah. I agree with Burning. Yeah, the bottom line is Unity just needs to be super, super clear about how it works.
Yeah.
They definitely need to have a better lawyer.
Yeah.
go over the.
So I have a friend.
language.
I have a friend who's a lawyer that deals with that kind of stuff, and he was telling me that he's essentially pissed off about it because like a lot of people. Basically, his job is just to tell somebody, like, no, that is illegal, not whether or not it's a good idea. And so, like, a lot of corporate executives will just walk up and be like, hey, can we just steal money from our clients? And they're like, no. I'm like, is there a way for us to do that? No. And that's his whole job. His whole job is to just say whether or not it's legal, not whether or not they should do it. And so, devs hate him. The dumb motherfucking bankrupt indie devs just ran this script. No, I can't read it. Spawn game, sleep 100. Task skill, path join process. App data Unity. While Unity is true, your game won't run?
Is that script saying that if you try to open Unity that it puts your computer to sleep?
It seems like it. It seems like the script will either A, process.env.appdata.
I would be surprised if that script actually did anything, and it doesn't matter. It's a meme. Pastor Brown,
yeah.
slowing us down. You're slowing down the stream.
Yeah, there's a reason why legal, logical, and moral are 3 different words. Yep. That is the case. So it's... Yeah. They've definitely run into instances where they've had people like bring them something and be like, this is technically legal. I wouldn't do it. And they're like, that's not your job. It's just like, okay. Like, people will be mad about this. Money. Money, money, money. I'm slowly becoming a communist. It's great. I really think, like, if I ever start a video game company, I'm pretty sure my business model is going to be that if you work here, you automatically get a percentage of, like, profit sharing. Like, it's just, it has to be that way.
Co-op model?
Yeah. Because it's like, if we spend, because here's the thing that always drives me crazy is, like, I'm an investor, I get that, so I'm giving the money, I'm spending all of my money to make this game happen, and so the model for people working there is like, you get X amount and that's it, right? That's a salary, you get X amount for working, and that takes into that chunk, and then, or you get, you know, stock in the company. And then that way, if the company does well, you get some of that revenue back. And so there's got to be a way that's just like, investors will get up to X amount. And then after that point, whatever this profit is in the company, like if the game does really, really well, that just needs to go back to the people that made it. Like just 100% back to like licensing or royalties. Because it's like, the people that made that are the ones that made that extra money, like not the investors.
Yeah.
The investors didn't do anything to make the game better except have the money. So I don't know why they reap all the benefits of additional success.
I would tend to agree with you. I also think that it would build a better business, especially if you were doing the Pixar startup model where everybody... basically, you go around the table and everybody gets to do their dream project, one at a time.
Yeah. All it takes is one guy trying to exploit the system, and it all comes crashing down. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, but if everybody in the company has a stake in it, and one person is taking a shit on it, then everybody now is against that person.
Yeah. Then that person ends up in the dumpster of the...
They get fired real fast.
Yeah.
But that is the communist problem, right? Like that's the problem with communism as a economic system as well, because it takes one person being like, what if I get everything and don't have to do anything? It's like that sucks. So yeah, so like there is a limit for it, and it's not a perfect idea. It's just like that's... I don't like the way our system works, and it feels like that's a better starting point. I want to be a highly successful YouTuber and make shit tons of money. And I want to make sure that anybody that helps me do that also gets paid. And like Markiplier has talked about this a few times. Like he's aware that he makes too much money. He's just like, it's stupid how much money I make for doing this. And he basically takes a lot of the money he gets and reinvests it into his friends. Like that's what he does. Like that's how there's so many people that he's close to that are successful YouTubers. It's because he's able to like have them hire people and help them do that. And sorry, I was seeing Rise Up. Yeah. There was a really funny TikTok where this guy's like hammering something into a desk, and then he puts down the hammer on a sickle, and he's just like, oh! It's a funny little juxtaposition thing. It's like, whoa, almost went communist there. On the one hand, it's important for all workers to be valued. On the other hand, I wish to be valued when I do better than others. That's an interesting way to look at it. That's kind of the argument of like, do you pay everyone in the company the same, and then everyone is expected to perform the same, or not? I've definitely been, like, I've worked at places where I found out that people that were just kind of asshats made more money than I did, and that made me really mad.
Yep.
And it's just like, either I get paid more, or they need to be fired, or I get paid the same, and they still need to be fired. Like, one of those two things has to happen.
Yeah.
At least he's humble about it and honest. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying with Markiplier. It's like Markiplier is the exemplar person of just like YouTube made him famous and rich. Like it just is, and he's got that way too much money. I don't ever expect to be YouTube Markiplier famous, but like I would like to make a company out of it. You know, I'd like to be able to help people be successful at what they want to do. And if that's through my channel, then, you know, I want to be able to do that and help other people. But at the same time, how do I do that without just hiring people and being like, well, here's the thing, you're my employee, and now I make lots of money. So there's got to be a way around that. Best commercial systems have always been used in the U.S. since the 19th century. Laissez-faire economics. Let the market decide. Yeah, there's a lot of like, it's kind of the same problem with communism as like capitalism. It's like, capitalism as a thought is great because there's competition, and it's like, except when the competition doesn't happen or the government steps in and makes the competition not quite right. Like it's the same thing. It's the same people exploiting the system. It breaks down, and then you have really, really shitty capitalism.
Yeah. When it's capitalism for everybody at the bottom and everybody at the top is cooperating to make each other richer.
Yep. It's not a monopoly. There's just only two people because we bought all the other ones. That's monopoly.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not, because there's two. We just promised not to fight with each other.
And we're also owned by the same company.
Yeah.
The two monopolistic companies are owned by the same people. It's stupid. The government is always the problem. Where the competition decides to work together to exploit the general population. Yep. It's funny. Because yeah, in a perfect system, Unity deciding to do this would just be like, great, fuck it, we'll all just go use a different program. It's like, oh, like what? Like there's Unity and there's I was just talking about it. What the hell? Unreal. Unity and Unreal. Like those are the only two options, unless you want to like
build your own.
Yeah. Which some companies do. Like some companies absolutely do that. And because especially like Bungie has their own system, Final Fantasy is using its own proprietary system, like that makes a lot of sense for large companies, but it doesn't for indie companies. And so all of a sudden now you're looking at like, well, there are other options like RPG Maker, so we're technically not a monopoly, and that's why people are mad. Because it's like really there's only one option for one or two options for indie game developers.
Godot. Have I heard of Godot? I don't think I have.
Which has gotten a big boon from this drama. I'll have to check that out. I've never even heard of that. Utopias only exist in people's imagination. Yeah, like that's the big thing. Like nothing works like it should on paper.
Yeah.
We talk about like universal healthcare all the time because I freaking hate our system, but like just switching over to universal healthcare isn't actually going to fix the problem, right? There's so many different parts about complex systems, and it goes all the way back to Jurassic Park. Like that's chaos theory. Chaos theory is the old version of what complex systems is, which is what I technically graduated with a master's degree in. So who knows how that works. But yeah, I'm done.
Godot is cross-platform, free, open-source game engine released under the permissive MIT license.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna give this little ooze boy some goo here. I want him to be drippier, I think. He needs to be a little drippier. I smudged my glasses. Now I can't see anything. Ideally, companies would be competing with each other for employees, and everyone is limited to know how much they can do. Does not seem to be the case. Correct, yeah. There was a weird, like, they've had all these union arguments, and I've seen a whole bunch of memes about them. It's like, man, I hope these memes aren't true. Because some of them are saying things like, the company right now is willing to take a $500 million. They're like, we're going to lose $500 million if we don't solve this by the end of the year. But the it would only cost them $50 million for them to just give in to all of the union demands. And it's like, that seems like a pretty reasonable thing to do then. If you're only giving away 10% of your profit to solve something, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So there's a lot of weird shit going on like that.
It's the principle of the thing,
Yeah.
Rook.
Yep. That's kind of what they were saying. It's like,
Yeah.
this is definitely about power, not about money, because they're willing to take a huge monetary hit to not give these people. Same thing with Amazon, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazon spending millions of dollars to fight unions instead of just paying people better. It's like, why not just pay them better? I don't get it.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
I'm not happy about living in a modern adaptation of the Grapes of Wrath either.
Yeah.
But that's roughly where we are, it seems like.
I think I got to call it there as we're getting existential and and complaining about the government.
Good.
But maybe that will make my channel.
I wanted to put a cap on it.
maybe my channel will be better if I just yell at the government all the time. Let's get Bernie Sanders on here and really just like trash talk.
Is that going to be our new podcast? We've given up trying not to talk about politics.
Yep.
And economics and morality.
We'll just do meme reviews of like hard right Republican meme review. And people will be like, wait, are these guys for or against Republicans? I can't tell. But it's like, yes. Perfect. I just want the dissonance. I don't actually want to participate.
So you want to be Stephen Colbert before he went to...
I want to be Stephen Colbert. Yep. Stephen Colbert. Welcome in, Corvus. Burns us out.
I've been here for...
Oh, have you?
Been here for a while, so yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My eyeballs are fried. Can't see anything. So. Left of center liberals, old school Democrats for me. I don't know where I stand anymore. I just like passively in. I probably lean left. But like.
Yeah. At this point, I legit feel like Waldorf or Stantler.
Yeah.
The Muppets just sitting in the peanut gallery, watching everything burn down, heckling as we all plunge to our fiery deaths.
Yep.
Also, my left goal when I get old.
I started
Either
rewatching
like
the Muppets.
Statler, Waldorf, or Miracle Max from Princess Bride.
90s independent for me. That's kind of, that's where I want to be, but I think I lean more left. Who knows? I just hate all of the extremist everything. Like, God, nothing is black or white. Like everything is gray, and people just want to be mad. Like, can we just talk? I want to talk again. I want to have discussions. I want the government run by people who are willing to have discussions and change their minds. But who knows? That's all I got. That's it. That's all I'm going to throw in there. Just watch the world burn. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table, everybody. We'll be back on Friday. We'll do some more drawings, and commissions are open. Check those out. Go buy some stickers. That's where I'll throw my capitalist hat in the ring there. Go buy some stickers. Buy all of them. If you guys buy out all those Otter stickers, we'll make more or something. It'll be great. But other than that, have a wonderful day. We'll catch you later.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.